We got sound now? How's that for sound? You found some money. We got sound now? Can you hear me? Excellent. All right. Sorry for the confusion there. This is a new setup. I'm out in the garage. And yeah, I know, right, man? We're out in the garage, and I thought the Wi-Fi would reach out here, and apparently it just barely reached, so it wasn't enough for the stream to connect succinctly. So we're running on the hotspot off the cell phone. Hold on, let's see here. And that thing's got, let's see here. I got about half a charge. I find my wife keeps stealing my USB cables. If you're watching and you're inside, you need to bring me my USB cable. Yeah. Or sound technician. Yeah, and I'm not using my good microphone. This is just the microphone off the webcam. This is supposed to be a small, informal Q&A for you guys who had specific questions about the box. I'm actually sitting here, trying to make anyone seasick, but we're actually sitting here in the shop. Here's the box. See, I'm actually, look at that. There's some Inception for you. How you like that? All right. So, we're here with the box. I look better as a bear, that's for sure. Any questions and stuff that didn't get answered in the previous video that you've been wanting to ask? I tried to answer all the stuff in comments and stuff. I try to be good about going through them all, but there's a lot out there. I have the DeWalt USB cable. You know what? That's the one my wife stole. I think she liked it because it was pretty colors. How does it compare to the Hyper-Tough box? You know, that's funny because I saw a video by somebody, and I can't remember who it was, but he was in a Walmart, and I don't know if it was labeled Hyper-Tough. I don't think it was called Hyper-Tough, but they had a toolbox that was essentially the same thing as that Cobalt one that I had. It was 99% the same box. One thing it had the Cobalt didn't have was it actually had a handle in the lid, so when you had to pull it down, it was a lot easier. But it was also $160 more expensive. So, is the 20% coupon a one-time deal? No. But like all the high-end stuff that Harbor Freight does, you see the big coupons 2 to 3 times a year. This is a big deal because they haven't done this with a lot of their launch stuff. A lot of their launch stuff, they put it out there at a high price, knowing that the diehards. Are you serious? You're going to start doing yard work right now. Sorry about the noise. Anyway, but it's they usually do the high end pricing up front to get the diehards to buy in, and then dude's running a chainsaw. No. Gas-powered weed eater. Sorry. Anyway, it's gonna get. I would expect the price to settle maybe a few bucks lower, but maybe not. They may just do price corrections with coupons. Price for just the bottom. List price is $4,000. $3,995 or $9,900 or something. And that's a 56-inch rolling chest. Meaning of life is 42, I believe. How does it compare with the strictly Toolbox's Toolbox? That's hard to say exactly because I've never seen one in person. Well, okay, that's not true. I saw one at a trade show, but I just got to give it a light going over. I was looking at a bunch of other stuff. From what I've seen of the strictly Toolboxes, the cabinets are a more lightweight design, and they try to make up it with other ways. Like often you'll see the 6 wheels on it because they can't They're not structurally sound enough to put all the weight on four wheels. Also, the big thing is the hutch. The hutch on this, yeah, it sounds like is let me see here. Hold on. So if you see the hutch here, that's a dual wall construction in there. And from what I've seen from the strictly toolboxes, is that they're single wall on the hutch. At least on the one that everyone keeps touting, like the cheap one that they run that runs like $3,000. My yard tool filter. If it gets too loud, let me know with the yard noise and stuff. I can close the garage door, but if I do that, we lose most of our lighting because the only light in here is all the way at the back. Take care, Brad, man. We'll see you later. Steve's in the house. How's it going, man? Josh, the tool dude's here. Carson's Exploring Channel. Yes, I've been I grew up a Chicago Bears fan. Um, I don't know. I stopped following football. Uh, you know, or any major sports. I follow some UFC stuff. I might be getting back into football some. My kids are getting older, and my son plays football. My youngest wants to watch football and stuff. So I'll probably end up being Raiders fans because we're here in Vegas. So, are you keeping the box with your first impressions? It's well, I have to keep it. They quite often when companies send you stuff, the understanding is that you're going to keep it and use it, for at least a year. They don't like it when they send you stuff and you just turn around and sell it or give it away or something. There's no strings attached, but that's just kind of good manners. And so I'm going to keep it for a while and use it and see how I like it and such. It's a beautiful box. I did want one in blue though, but I was apparently getting one of the first ones off the boat, and red was your only choice at that point. Steve says he picked up one of those hyper tough weed whackers on clearance for $13. See, I was selling it. If you guys missed it, Walmart is clearing out all the hyper tough cordless, and maybe the corded too, but at least I saw the cordless lawn and garden stuff. So weed whackers, chainsaws, blowers, all that summertime kind of stuff is on super cheap clearance right now. Harbor Freight sells LED lights. They do, and I have one, and apparently I left it on last night and the battery's dead. And yeah, the shop lights. I've left them with my last shop, so I still gotta get stuff set up and figure out what we're doing here. Need a bear mask for the live streams. I tried something like that one time just for fun, and the kids bought it for me just to be silly, and it was so hot. Let's see here. Not box related, but if Icon will have a reversible ratcheting wrench set with more than 10 wrenches. I don't know. They last minute sent me some of the tools, and I gotta say I like them. The one thing I've been looking at, let me grab these here, is so this is the Icon set, and I'm showing the 10 millimeter because I did all the 10 millimeter testing before, so you can do comparison stuff. So this is the 10 millimeter Icon. Just in comparison to my hand, you can see about how big it is. I got big paws, as it were. And this is reversible, and it's set at an angle and everything. To be honest, this is not my favorite style of wrench. My favorite style is flex head. I like the flex head wrenches because then I can get the angle that I want, and if I need to reverse it, I can just flip it over and do the same thing. But this is, if you can read it, snap-on wrench. 10mm snap-on. It's a tad bit shorter than the Icon. The angle is, I think the angle's a little bit more extreme on the Snap-on. Now the Snap-on though is serviceable. It's got these bolts in here. Now I know there's a way to do it on these too. You can do a press fit kind of stuff. But what's really interesting on this, the plate on the back, I know you can't really see that. Maybe in that angle right there. That's, pretty sure that's plastic. Oh, maybe it's metal. And let's see here. Where's a magnet? Hold on. All right. I thought I popped out the chat. I'm like, why can't I see more chat? Come on. There we go. Why is it doing this? Everyone's got to be a hassle. That's close enough. All right. They're known to disappear. Yeah, they are. So I'm trying to figure out if this back plate on this thing is magnetic. And I don't think it is. I think that's plastic. Let me see if I can scratch into it. Maybe it's metal. I can't tell. I'll have to take it apart. Anyway, we're going to be doing a comparison of this and a couple other 10mm ratcheting wrenches. See how they go. Let's see here. And I'm on top. Why am I on top, chat? Always does that to me. So professional today. Shadow's Edge in the house. How's it going, man? All right. Haven't got through Halloween yet. Jim Adams, hello from Bakersfield. How's it going, man? Let's see here. Will you be doing a pliers or vice grip comparison like your wrench and ratcheting? I was thinking of sending you some Master Force stuff comparison. That would be great. I would love to see it. That's the address right there. That's our shipping address here. And I would love to take a look. So yes, we are planning to do a whole series on hand tool testing. It's going to take some time to go through it, but I'm trying to, I don't know if I'm going to do 16 tools like I did last time. Funny thing is, I tried to do 16 of those wrenches to make sure that I covered the spectrum, that people couldn't complain. And sure enough, people found reasons to complain. They're like, I can't believe you didn't include blah, blah, blah. You know, this test is void or invalid because you didn't include X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, oh my gosh, there's 16 wrenches here. I didn't see you sending me any or paying for any. Anyway. Oh, more chainsaw, of course. Well, and that's Zaphiel, you know, he's saying it's not fair to compare, you know, a 30-inch deep cabinet. I got lots of people, a lot of Snap-on fanboys going, you know, it's not a pro-level cabinet because it's 30-inch, you know, only, you know, Snap-on only sells 30-inch cabinets. And I'm like, no, the KR722 that this is compared to, that it's supposed to compete against is a 24-inch cabinet. They all sell 24-inch cabinets. You know, and then when you ask them, well, what's the requirement? What is the specific requirement that makes you need a 30-inch cabinet? And no one's got an answer to that. They're like, well, it's just a pro-level tool. I'm like, a 30-inch cabinet means that when the drawers are all the way out, you're looking at 60 inches of depth. That means you've got to give up that much space in your bay to be able to handle that. Not everyone can give up that much space. And these guys always think about, well, my situation is the only situation that everyone else has. And that's just not the way it is. The back plate is metal. Rest says the back plate is metal. Well, that's good to know because I was getting a little concerned. Don't see a latch on the drawers. Do they exist just like the US drawer? No, they use what are called adjustable detents. Hold on here. I'll show you real quick. So at the end of each slide is one of these little knobs here. And you can change how hard the resistance is on each one of these. And there's one on either side. The trick to them, though, you have to remember is that they're you got to get them to match up. If you don't get them to match up, you're going to get different resistance on either side. But I've rolled it around with loaded full of tools and didn't have a problem with doors opening or anything like that. Some people like latches, some people don't. Josh, you taking care of me or taking off? You take care. We'll see you around. Lagging a bit. I probably am. Next time I'm just gonna get an Ethernet cable and run it all the way out here. This is the first time trying this setup, and so we're running off of the Wi-Fi on the cell phone. What type of pliers do you want? We were talking about doing, I think it was linesman pliers was what we talked about last time, what most people wanted to see, which is, this is my old set that I've had forever and a day, and I don't remember where I got them from. It says Companion Forged. I don't know what that means. Companion. And what's this say? DF or BF Japan. Sorry, I don't have my glasses on. I don't know if you guys can see any of that. These have been around forever. But I like them. They've got a nice basic, they got a little gap there. You can see the gaps. Come on there. For crimping. You want a gap right there for crimping. You don't want to crush your crimp. Jim Adams says, I'm coming to Vegas to deliver a car this weekend. Still owe you lunch. Hey, man, email me, Red at Denda Tools. We'll meet up if we can. Well, I can come out with a tool cart. I don't know. Let's see here. A lot of people have asked that. I don't know if they will because, if I'm not mistaken, does Snap-on have a higher level tool cart than that Blue Point one? I mean, I guess they do. They do have like the one where the top flips up and it's drawers all the way down. You know, what I like is I would like to see one with drawers all the way down and where the top slides open. I prefer that. If you're going to have, a large storage area underneath, I prefer it where the top slides open. That way I can still have stuff on top. Because on the ones where the top flips up, the top's unusable. Unless you're going to put stuff on there and then take stuff off and have to... It's just a pain. William Logan in the house. William, how's it going, man? Let's see here. I seem rather darkened. I guess I should have set it up with this as the backdrop, huh? I decided to use the drawer. I'm actually using the slide out pen drawer writing tablet on the cabinet as my desk. What's the definition of pro grade? Yeah, that's a good question, isn't it? Pros use all sorts of stuff. I have another stream open. Do I really? I wonder what it's streaming. Huh. This is too weird. I have two streams going. Alright, well, we're going to try and close down one of them without closing the whole thing. Why would it let me do that? That's just ridiculous. I have no idea. Weird. Well, we're going to... I'm going to be answering questions on this one. So, um, let's see here. Price sounds not working. Mac, yeah, both Mac and Macco use this. I believe the same company for the rails. I looked at them; they look exactly the same. Do you think Harbor Freight will do a cheaper version of the Icon? You mean like will they do a Hutch? Because I mean the U.S. General is the cheaper version of Icon. The only thing that the U.S. General doesn't have, I don't think, is does the U.S. General have a top box like top locker like this one does? I don't think they do. I don't remember seeing one. Maybe they do. I can't remember. I know there's a top box, and there is a top box for the Icon. You don't see it a lot, and they don't show it in stores. But if you don't want to do the Hutch, there's a top box for it also. Um, but are they going to do a Hutch? I don't know. And I have told them pretty much every time I talk to them that they need to do a Hutch for the U.S. General. Um, yeah, Zaffio says that right about depth that he has a 22-inch because a bigger box would take up too much space. And the other thing is, I get all these guys saying, "Well, it's not as good as my like Epic box." I'm like, "That's a box you paid that retails for 15 grand for just the bottom box." They're compared to like a 72-inch. You want to compare a 15 grand box to a 4 grand box. It's like saying, "Well, the Ford Ranger is a worthless truck because I can't pull a 3,500-pound trailer with it like I can with my dually." It's just guys trying to flex is what that is. It's some weird, self-aggrandizement kind of BS so they can try and make other people think that they're cool because they have cool stuff. It's weird. It's just sad at some level. Let's see here. Yeah, Steve says 5 feet worth of space, and that's only if you have 50 space around. There's a lot of smaller shops that they can't do stuff like that, and even the bigger shops. That doesn't mean necessarily they want to be taking up that much room. AKA linesman pliers, AKA part-time hammer. I've never used them like that. Resto says the Snap-on has a new Epic cart. The top slides open and the drawers are all the way down. So yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing something like that. Oh, have you told everyone of the 20% off coupon for the Icon box? I did a quick video. I was running out the door to go to Scouts. I'm the Cub Scout leader for the pack or whatever, Scoutmaster, and and I saw it. I just happened to be on Harbor Freight's website, and I was trying to look for the price on the Icon stuff, and I typed in Icon in the search field, and boom, this whole thing came up, and I'm like, I got to get this out quick. So I pulled out the phone, did a quick 30-second video. I know I threatened you guys with my "I told you so" dance. Be careful, it might happen. Actually, could I ask you a favor? I'm going to be writing some articles about the new Icon and boxes for Tool Craze, and I've wondered if you could help me by contacting Harbor Freight. Sure, send me your contact info. Email me at red@thedenoftools.com, and I'll forward your contact info over to the guys I have, or I know. They are on the business development side, or I should say not business development, sorry, tool development. So they're not the PR marketing guys, so they're going to have to get it and run it up the chain to their people and get it over to them. So it might take a few days for someone to get back to you. Would you recommend Icon tools for a diesel student tech? I don't know. I mean, and the reason I say I don't know is I just got the tools. All right, I literally just got these on Friday. I got the tools on Friday. I got the box on Saturday. And I'm not going to run out and say, these are the tools you should buy. At this point, we're just demoing the stuff. If you like it, buy it. I would be hesitant, though, to suggest that. If you go back and watch my Tecton video, Tecton is offering 15% off plus an additional 10% back towards further Tecton purchases. So that's 25% off really good quality tools. So this tool, I don't know if you saw it before, the Flex Head one. What did I do with it? Here it is. The Flex Head one I said I like. This is a Tecton. I mean, I realize the lighting's crappy here and everything, but there's nothing shabby about these tools. It's got good retention. I think it's a 72 tooth. I could be wrong. Yeah. Seems about the same tooth count as the Icon one here. It's significantly shorter, I will say that. But I really do like the Flex Head style. And Tecton has some great tools. They do. I like the screwdrivers. I like them. I don't. They're not probably my end all be all screwdrivers, but they're better than a lot of the ones that I've had. The sockets, I really like the sockets. They've been great. The ratchets for the sockets are some of the better ones I've used. I won't say they're the best ones I've used, but for the money, they're. And the best thing about them is this: if you break a tool with Tecton, you take a picture with your cell phone, you upload it to their website, and usually within 2 to 3 days, you get a replacement mailed directly to you. So no calling customer service, no going into a store, no waiting for a truck to come back around. It just gets taken care of. Go check out my video on the Tecton screwdrivers or the ratchets, and you'll see what I mean. And there's links below there too if you want to buy them. Let's see here. I know I'm behind. Also, everyone, let me make sure. Where's my announcement? There we go. Please type in at the Den of Tools to get our attention. It shows up with an orange box around it, so you know that. So that way I know that you are talking to me and not to somebody else. That's why if you look over here, you see how that one's orange and that one's orange and that one's orange. It highlights it so I know you're talking to me. Do you want the consumer or prosumer grade set from Master Force? I think we're doing prosumer grade. So middle of the road kind of stuff. The fanboy should try to become one of the fan of their wallets. I have told these guys so many times, and somebody, this is how desperate these people are. Somebody asked me, would I buy the Icon cabinet? And I said, frankly, no, I would not. Do you know why I wouldn't? Because that idiot with the chainsaw is being stupidly loud. Oh my gosh. Because I'm not the target market for this. All right? I'm not. This is a luxury item for professionals or for prosumers who want that kind of flair in their home shop. And I am neither at this point. You know, I've been in the trades back in the days, but I also got smart and put money away and invested in my 401k and all that kind of stuff. And that's why at 50, I'm retired. And there's a lot of other guys at 50 who are just paying off their tool truck loans. The fact of the matter is, if I had some extra money in the budget, like if my YouTube channel just took off, next thing I know I had 1 million subscribers and I had extra money to blow, yeah, maybe I might buy something like this. But right now, I got kids in school. We're trying to figure out the whole housing kind of thing back between here and Montana. No, I'm not going to splurge on a cabinet like this. It's a luxury purchase. But for some people, like if I was a small business owner running my own shop, I would highly consider buying something like this because it's the suit and tie kind of thing. You show up wearing flip-flops and a t-shirt. I don't care how good you are. People, that first impression of you is going to stick with you for as long as they know you. You show up in a suit and tie, they're going to be like, this guy at least tries to act like a professional. Maybe I'll, give him benefit of the doubt and we'll take it from there. That's what this can be for a professional. And rather than spending 20 grand on a Snap-on setup or 15 grand on a Mac or Matco setup, they can spend, I think with coupon, it's going to be under 8 for this setup. So, it's got a lifetime warranty. So, Harbor Freight's been around for 40 years. There's no sign of them slowing down. You never know what's going to happen in the future, but Snap-on, they're a public company. You never know what's going to happen to them. Is it possible to put the U.S. General Toolbox on the Icon, U.S. General Top Box on the Icon bottom box? I don't know. That's a good question. A lot of people ask me if they can put the Hutch on the U.S. General, which you can't. I don't know the exact measurement of the U.S. General, but this is a 56-inch, 24-inch deep. I believe the U.S. General is 56-22. So I believe you could put it on there. You might have to mod it a bit to be able to screw it in and get to, if you wanted to get it, locked in there. But as far as just sitting it up there, I would imagine that you could. Let's see here. Gary says, giant thunderstorm almost on top of me, power going on and off. Take care. Keep your head down. Let's see here. Will Icon Hutch locker fit on US? And there's the question. No, the Icon will not fit on the U.S. General. Sorry, checking my phone there. How's the wobble of the shelves, and does the locker have framework like the box? Yes. The locker is double wall, and you can move the shelves that are in there that are on the slides. You can move those anywhere in the locker you want. Your thoughts on soft close drawers? Miss them on the Icon box? No. I like soft close like in the kitchen. I think that's really nice and everything. In the garage, I've tried soft close drawers. I don't like them. And I think it's because I'm often moving quick and I want to know that it's closed. I want to hear that thunk, hear the latch catch or the detent catch, and I want to know it's closed. I don't want to throw it closed and then find out that the soft close didn't catch and it's still hanging open, and then turn around and catch myself on the edge of the drawer that's still hanging open. I don't like soft close drawers in the shop. Resto says, I ordered a 84 Epic right before all this Icon stuff blew up and I became aware of it. It's not too late to cancel the order. I'd love to see drawer wobble. Total with taxes. When you say drawer wobble, you're just talking about the flex in the drawer? Let me see if I can do it, because it's going to require two hands. So I got this drawer open. Let me see here. Try to flex it in this side. And I was putting all my effort into it. So, I don't know what more if you want something more specific, sorry. If you want something more specific, let me know. Let's see here. Jacob asked a question. What did I miss here? Yeah, they're not interchangeable. Okay. Software. See if them flexing your buyer's remorse for spending too much when a cheaper product would have sufficed. Well, I mean, the Epic is, as I understand, the Epic is for that. Is again, it's a truly luxury kind of purchase. When you're getting the Epic level 1, it's because you want that level of bling and stuff. There's always cheaper solutions out there than that. I'm glad I don't live in SoCal anymore. I'd rather deal with the snow. Man, I mean, I've never lived in SoCal. I'm in Vegas here, but I won't do snow again. I'm unless I'm rich and I can pay other people to shovel my driveway and all sorts of stuff. And nah, I don't like. I like going up and visiting the snow. I don't want to live there. Um, can you show that drawer to compare? Compare what? Um, whoops. Any idea if Harbor Freight will bring out a top chest for the 36-inch cabinet? I don't know. I saw that there wasn't one. I'll ask them. I'll be honest, I'm not a big fan on top cabinets on those little ones myself, but sorry it's buffering. Hopefully I'm back. Is there a 41-inch bottom from Harbor Freight? There's a 40, I think there's a 42. Yeah, there's a 42 in the US General, not in the Icon. Do you think the overhead cabinet is too high to be really useful considering the bottom? I am 6'2", and I think the overhead cabinet is a joke. My brother is 6'6". You saw him in the video, and he's like, he thought it was kind of silly because you could barely reach the back. The only thing the top cabinet for is if you're in a pro shop where you can't have stuff just lying out and you need to store stuff long term that you don't want to throw away. Blow molded cases, 3-ring binders with, documentation and stuff. It's like the attic for your house. It's like, I don't want to get rid of this, but I don't want to look at it every day, so I'm going to throw it up there. If you don't need that stuff to be hidden, don't buy it. It is way too high to be usable. Literally, you'd have to be 6'4" or taller to make daily use of that thing, unless you're going to keep a step ladder nearby, or you feel like using your drawers as a step ladder, which I guess technically you could, but it just sounds like a good way for a hospital accident, if you ask me, or a hospital visit, if you ask me. I honestly was thinking about taking it off, welding up some legs for it, and turning it into a workbench. I still got the rubber mat from that was the original top for the lower cabinet, and it's up on there on top of that right now, and that'd make a great little workbench, I think. Not even little, it's 56. Get a salamander heater. I thought he was just saying get a salamander. I'm like, salamanders are cool. Have you seen the rigid cordless shop vac? I have. Every video I watch on YouTube seems to have a commercial of some idiot out in the forests vacuuming up a puddle. I don't understand why, but I haven't seen it in person. I'm sorry, I should be clear on that. Cookies says, hello all bearaholics. Red should have his own Icon tool brand. Hopefully corporate sends him one. Snow, just another excuse for more power tools. Resta says that actually pretty stable. All ball bearing slides have to have some tolerance to operate. That being said, the 54-inch top drawer and grab the US, big difference. I'll have to take a look at that. Hold on here. Zafio to leave. Oh, you should be doing a video on chainsaws and yard cleanup. I should. They're my chainsaw's right over there. I got to put it together. I took it apart for transportation. Josh says he sent me an email. Let me check my email real quick, guys. Make sure I got his email. Apparently I got to open my email. Contact info. I sure did. I got it. So I will forward that over to those guys, and they will or will not get back in touch with you. All right. Vegas is a good place to be. It is now. It is now. We get back from Montana to Vegas in mid-August for the kids to get back into school. And from mid-August until like last week, it was 110 on average every day. Just miserable. Today, this past week, it has been glorious. It's high to mid to high 80s, nice light breeze, just beautiful weather. Yeah, don't get the top locker. I would either get the side locker. Yeah, if you need storage, get us and you got the room to go sideways. I could see doing 2 side lockers on either side. Will Harbor Freight be making tools as good as Snap-on and competing against them? They have been for years. Snap-on makes good tools. Don't get me wrong, but there's nothing magical about them. They're not made out of like unicorn dust or something. I'm looking over here. I got my 10 millimeter wrenches that I did the testing on, and I've already exchanged in my Snap-on one. I already got that replaced, so I can't show you the bent Snap-on one that I had. But I mean, they all at some point either snap or break. Here's a Mac that's broken. Whoop. Throwing tools around. Right grip, broken. Who's this? Gear wrench, broken. Or, in the case of like Matco, bent. That's not a factory bend, just so you know. They all, Carlisle. That's the thing about metal. Everyone thinks that there's like this magic metal out there, the unobtainium kind of stuff. It's either strong but brittle, flexible but soft, or somewhere in between. You don't get strong and doesn't break, or soft and doesn't bend. It's just an equation of where you want to end up in that slide. And people are, the metal on Snap-on is just better. It's not that hard to make steel. Not these days. I'm sure a long time ago, 80 years ago when they first started, it was, like rocket science. We've been to the moon and back since then. It's not the same thing. I don't recall, Shadows Edge says, I don't recall if you answered this or if it actually got passed over. Is the trim on the drawers and corners of the icon interchangeable for different colors? No, it isn't. Sorry, I didn't see that before. Will they come out with that in the future? I don't know. That would be cool. What color could I do that? No, the handles are too hard to get off. You'd have to, because the trim on the handles is press fit. So they've got the handles like this, and the machine comes in with the chrome and actually wraps it around and crimps it down. It becomes one solid piece. You can get it off, but it's a pain in the ass. Getting the side trim off is not hard at all. It'd be cool to see if I could do that in a different color. 75 here. Well, William Logan. Yeah, I bet that's beautiful. Are students of Las Vegas walking out to protest climate change? I don't know. Will Harbor Freight be making icon tool organizers designed to work optimally for their toolboxes? Well, okay. When you buy them, now hold on here. So I gotta slide this out here. Bear with me, because I'm on the drawer that's right below the other drawer. So when you buy the icon tools, they come in these trays. These are icon tools, and that's the trays they come in. All right. Now, if you're talking about like stand-up organizers for sockets and stuff like that, Harbor Freight makes them, and funny enough, they came out with those right before they launched Icon. So my guess is that that's what they were truly designed for, was to be, you know, the vertical storage solution for the Icon tools. I don't think they're going to come out with a separate Icon brand for those. Is the YouTube channel Vacuum Wars? The YouTube channel Vacuum Wars has a great video going over the performance of most of the big brands cordless shops. We're very Josh, thank you. I'm going to check that out. Actually, I like seeing that kind of stuff. So, Steve says 80 in Michigan. Let's see here. Is the Bauer lineup really worth investing into, in your opinion, just for working around the house? And oh yeah, I was really surprised about the Bauer setup. Hold on, let me grab one of my favorite Bauer tools. I used it in setting up this box. Be right back. Enjoy the sunlight. This is the Bauer right angle. Metal chuck on that. Reversible. 2-speed selector. It's made out of the same kind of glass poly kind of plastic. I wish the batteries, apparently they're going to come out with bigger batteries and stuff. We're going to see more of that later next year. This is the 3 amp hour battery. The Hercules has a better battery for the dollar, but the price of the tools are hard to beat on the Bauer. For DIY, prosumer level stuff, this is as good or better than any of the tools I've seen, like from Ryobi, Porter Cable, the low-end Rigid stuff. Now, Rigid makes the 5-gen brushless stuff is pretty good. I'm just not a fan of the way Rigid tries to weasel out of their warranty all the time. Steve says, I need to mow the lawn sometime today. Maybe use my new weed whacker more. Icon has 4 colors. Check their website. Yes, they do. They're going to be in red, blue, black, and green. I tried to get a different color. I was told no. I heard somebody else. So for those guys who don't know, they sent 2 of these out at launch. So I and another channel got them. The other channel is a professional mechanic. He's a much bigger channel than mine. And he should have a video coming out this week sometime, I'm guessing. So stay tuned with that. But the other thing is that after I got my box and gave them some feedback, they sent out 4 more setups at least. So there's other people who are going to be getting the boxes. Let's see here. Titanium's nice. I love titanium, but you pay for it. Black side trim pieces would look good. It'd make it look like a Craftsman, which is not a bad thing. I got a soft spot for Craftsman. I always will. How about doing a tool organizer comparison, wrench racks and socket trays? Somebody sent me a link to something on Amazon I'm going to be checking out. It's something I've never heard of. It's another tool organizer or socket organizer kind of thing. So yeah, I would like to do that. They show black trim on the new Icon boxes. Do they really? You know, they probably did. I probably have it in my video and didn't even look at it. Let me see here. I looked at Icon. That's all chrome. Boy, they sure do. The blue one's got black trim. Or the green one, I'm sorry. The green one's got black trim. It's here. Icon. I broke the spacebar on my laptop. It's so annoying. I usually use an external keyboard with it anyway, so. Let's see, the green's got black trim, the black's got chrome trim, the blue's got chrome trim. So it looks like only the green's got black trim. But if they're going to have a whole parts department, maybe I can order it from them. If I could replace this whole thing with black trim, I might do it. That would be kind of cool. I'll have to see about getting those rails off the handles. See if it's worthwhile. Alright, let's see here. Handy Wahoo says, good afternoon. Blue and black would be sweet. Yes, it would. I would just keep the sockets in the packaging like that. I'd like to get all my sockets moved into the top drawer and vertical, out of their storage and stuff. And then I like to use the smaller drawers for wrenches and stuff like that. Otherwise, that top drawer is kind of a waste if you don't store sockets in it vertically, because, I mean, it's almost 5 inches deep. Do they have a quick connect option for that right angle? You mean for like a hex? They don't have... no, I don't think they do, but you can buy them off of Amazon for like $5. Let's see here. Josh says, I'll have to ask the Icon team what happened to broken ratchets. Will they sell rebuilt at a discount? That would be nice. That would be pretty cool. Vacuum Wars sucks. Someone had to say it. In your assembly video, I noticed a lot of chuck wobble. Is that standard for Bauer? I think that was probably just lighting. Also, I didn't use the Bauer in the video. In the video, it was the Hercules, and because I think the only part you see is where I'm drilling, and that was the Hercules drill that was being used. I'm pretty sure. I could be wrong. Fairly sure. I mean, you can see. I mean, I realize there's no load on it or anything, but I haven't noticed. I would have noticed it in prior videos or something. I haven't seen any issues with it. One of the things you got to remember, and maybe I screwed up with, is when you seat a bit in a what do you call it? In a chuck, in a 3-tongue chuck, is you don't want to put it all the way up into the base. You want to get it into and then back it up just a little bit, because that base is not necessarily smooth and can cause wobble and jumpiness on the bit. So you never want to seat it all the way in there. I wish they would do a drill driver combo kit. I got a video coming out last week of September that's going to give you some really interesting information. Don't know if you missed this question, but will Harbor Freight expand their 12-volt Earthquake XT line? I don't know. And I've said that that's the biggest letdown that I've seen with all the new tools from Harbor Freight, is how few tools. I think there's 2. You get a ratchet and the buffer. And I got to say, they're both great tools from what I've seen, and I wouldn't mind having either of them, but I'm not going to buy a 12-volt line that has 2 tools in it. Who would do that? And on top of that, I even said about the Hercules, and you saw in the video, I like the Hercules 12-volt tools. I think they're great tools. But would I buy them? Unless I just needed those specific tools and I already had Hercules tools so I could share the charger. Because the charger for the Hercules does both tools. Does the 12-volt and the 20-volt. In which case, that makes sense. But if I'm going to really invest in a 12-volt line, I'm going to go with Milwaukee. And I don't even like the way the Milwaukee tools feel. I hate that battery in the grip kind of thing, because it swells out the grip and makes it a little unwieldy. I don't think it's ergonomic, and it's hard to set the tool down without having it fall over. But they have a huge line of tools to go with it. They're excellent tools. They have a good 5-year warranty. Why would you not buy the Milwaukees? All right. See, Steve, I can get on my soapbox because your wife's not here. Let's see here. William says, I watched Stacey David review the new Cornwell tool chest, but dang, are they expensive. Hey, I reached out to Cornwell, said, I'm doing these tool reviews and stuff. Would you guys be willing to talk to me? And haven't heard back. Here's the funny thing. A lot of people think that I'm just a shill for Harbor Freight and stuff like this. In a video, when they launched the 12-volt tools, I was the first person to get them. I did a video. And at the end of my video, I said, buy the Milwaukees instead. I did their job site saw. And I said, it's a great saw, but it's not anything better than what's out there on the market right now. It's just, rather than going above the market, they've met the market. Which is not to say that it's crap, but it's also not to say, hey, this is the tool you need to go out and buy, which is really, of course, what every company wants to hear. And I've done the top 10 worst tools from Harbor Freight. In my catalog review I do once a month, I'm constantly talking about tools from Harbor Freight that I don't like and that you shouldn't buy. And Harbor Freight still comes back and talks to me. Milwaukee, they approached me. They said, we're interested in talking to you. Oh, then they found out I said some negative stuff about Milwaukee. They don't want to talk to me. SK, reached out to them. They said, oh, we're thinking about talking to you. Let's do some. And apparently, when I said the Chrome, and you got to see this. I said they have to address this. I like the SK tools. This 10mm wrench is a gorgeous tool. But I don't know if you can see this on there. But the chrome broke off of it. Like, you ever had like one of those like wedding cakes that's got the really smooth, hard frosting and it just cracks and comes off? This thing's spider webbed. The chrome is so, it's just like a layer on top, and it just completely cracked. And I just snagged my finger. I don't know if you can see it on a piece of chrome right there. Come on, focus. You can see it behind my hand there. That little flake. This thing will not focus. Right here. I just snagged my finger on chrome that's coming off. I can peel the whole, it just came off. Right here. And now they won't talk to me. So, think about that. Harbor Freight's willing to take criticism. Snap-on, or not Snap-on, I haven't talked to Snap-on. I talked to the franchisees, but not corporate. But Milwaukee, SK, won't talk to me. Cornwell's not called me back. Apparently people are afraid that I'll be honest. Can you stack the Hutch on top of... Can you stack the Hutch on top of the top cabinet? No. The Hutch has to be screwed into the stainless steel top, which is flippin' stupid. Okay? And I went back to them. I went back to Harbor Freight and said, why? Here, I'll show you. Right here. See that bolt? You have to first drill down into it and then drive that bolt down there. Why do you have to drill and sink a sheet metal screw into the stainless steel top you just had to buy extra to go on the cabinet and put 4 big holes in it? And their response is, well, that's how all the other industry leaders do it. And being a father, I had to respond with, and if Timmy jumped off a bridge, would you do it as well? I'm like, and I've criticized Harbor Freight on this before, you guys aren't the first movers. You're not setting the tone. You're catching up. But you have the opportunity to transcend the mistakes others have made. You could have come up with a more elegant solution. You could have done it differently that would allow people options in the future if they wanted to change their setup. And instead, you just did what everyone else is doing. And it was disappointing. And I told them that. And I'm telling you that. Not that you have another option if you go with somebody else. They're going to make you do the same thing. Travis Langier, $5 holler here. I have a set of gear wrenches that are doing the same thing. I've had them for over 20 years. Best ratcheting wrenches. 20 years and they're doing that. I can handle that. I don't have a cowbell or anything out here. I can... Hold on. Best I can do. Thank you so much for supporting the channel, man. You rock. Josh says, I'm out of here for now. Thanks for the help with the icon. I'll try to make to the next stream. Sunday night, for those of you who may be new here, every Sunday we do live tool talk with myself. You get to meet the missus. Some of the cubs come around. The Labrador. We all show up. Steve says, if I owned a tool company, I'd take your criticism and fix what is wrong. The best thing you can do with any business, if you own any business, is listen to your critics. Because for every person who's saying something, there's 20, 40, 60 people who are thinking the same thing but not saying something, and this is your chance to address it. So listen to the criticism and think about it. Is this real criticism? Is this something that really is wrong, or are they just bitching? And if it is real criticism, don't make an excuse for it. Fix it if you can. And if you can't, find a way to make everything else better so that it won't matter. Let me see if there's any other comments I missed. Remember, type at the Den of Tools so it shows up highlighted so I know to read it. Let's see here. Haha, she's the one that gets on you about the soapbox, not me. What's I said? I said your wife, not me. Handy says, I've been advocating for a long time that Milwaukee gets rid of the Torpedo 12 volt. Yes. Milwaukee has it, and they also did it in the Rigid. Of course, Rigid is made by the same company that makes Milwaukee, so that's not too surprising. But yeah, it's just, I don't know. There used to be small, like the 9.7 volt, I think it was, or something. They had that kind of handle, but there were only 2 batteries in that one, so it was slim enough. When they added the 3rd cell, it just makes it ungainly. Going back here to catch up on some of the other stuff. Could you please ask Icon if they plan to do a 72 Hutch because it's not on their website? I do believe they are, and I'm surprised it's not on the website. Most of the items are more than half the width of the drawer, not quite as long as a drawer, so nothing fits like a glove. Exactly, and that's why I keep talking about. People are like, well, it has to be a 30-inch. I'm like, is there some sort of standard 30-inch that I don't know about, that there's all these 30-inch tools that need to go in there? Turn them sideways. They'll fit just fine. It would be awesome if they take trade-ins, though. I would literally take my... Don't ever do trade-ins. You will never get the good value on... You shouldn't trade in your car. Don't ever do a trade-in. Sell it yourself. You'll do better. What do you do for a living that allowed you to retire at 50? I started off... I've always worked, and I've always worked 2 or 3 jobs, is the reality of that situation. I started my first business when I was a teenager, like 15, and I got in, I was doing, by the time I was finishing high school, in the summer I was doing mowing lawns, like big, like industrial kind of stuff with huge walk-behinds, and doing landscaping, mixing our own fertilizer, going down. This is when I lived in Ohio and Kentucky. We would go down to horse farms, shovel out stalls for manure, make our own fertilizer. And then I was doing construction, and I was a carpenter for a team doing rehab. We would take old vintage buildings, houses, usually row houses in the downtown area, tear them down to studs and everything else, build them back up. And that's how I got started in the trades. And then I transitioned into technology in my 30s, and I did installs for 96 branches in the United States and Canada, and actually some down in the Caribbean, doing full rollouts. We're talking, server racks, server rooms, all the infrastructure that goes along with it. And I eventually transitioned into running a tech company in Silicon Valley, where I just retired from year before last. Well, semi-retired. And then we sold the company earlier this year, so I'm outie, right? So I'm just doing this these days. But I've always worked. I'm also a self-published author. I've got 5 or 6 books that I sell on Amazon. My best-selling book is The Home Distiller's Workbook, Your Guide to Making Moonshine, Whiskey, Vodka, Rum, and so much more. As I said, I used to live in Kentucky, learned a few things. And I also used to buy and sell cars, and I'd buy cheap cars, fun cars. I'd buy old Audis and Mercedes and Volvos, BMWs, some American cars, some old classics, and I'd buy them, fix them up, drive them for 6 months to a year, sell them, buy the next one. I've owned over cars and trucks, so as I said, I'm not the kind of person who just sits around doing nothing. Even semi-retired, I do consulting work. I still buy and flip things. I like to play around with the lithium-ion battery systems. I've got some electric I imported from China. Turned around and sold those. I still have a couple that I keep for myself. So I do hobby kind of stuff with that. 3D printing. I've been a speaker at Maker Faire. Built a CNC machine. All sorts of fun stuff. All right. Sorry here. Let's see here. Sorry, catch up on some of these. I know I was ranting for a while there. Let me check my battery on my cell phone, see if it's about to die. We got a quarter battery left. We're doing good. Renegades in the house. Let's see here. Yeah, Dow's ratchet did come apart. Probably just a case where the whatchamacallit, the Loctite didn't get applied thick enough. Didn't happen sometimes. The famous Dead Sea Tupperware. Oh, let's see here. Hold on. I know I've missed a bunch here. I'm still trying. What size lineman's pliers do you need? I think we're looking at 8-inch. Or 7-inch. Let me see what I... Hold on. Look at that 7-inch, looks like. I wish I knew where the rest of my tools were. They're in a box buried around here somewhere. Archie's taking off, man. You have a good one. Torpedo 12 volt. It's what they call the ones that go into the handle rather than being on the base. So like most 20 volt tools, the battery's on the base, but on some of the 12 volt tools, they go into the handle like a magazine going into a sidearm, and that's what they call a torpedo battery. Old mechanic, how you doing, man? Deep Rock's in the house. How goes it? Haven't seen you in a while. Timothy says, I like the 12 volt stuff from Bosch. They're alright for what they are, but don't go making a deck or patio with them. Yeah, I saw them on VCG. They were talking about, Nick did his favorite 4 12 volt systems. I was really surprised he picked Bosch. I like Bosch stuff, but I don't know if I'd pick the 12 volt as one of my favorites. Are screwdrivers coming? I think they are. That's just a guess, but I'd have to guess that we're going to see Tecton. Icon screwdrivers. William, you take care. Good seeing you, man. Walt's taking off too. All our W's are leaving. Travis says, I have the Earthquake ratchet. Absolutely love it. But I bought it knowing that I won't really need anything else in their tool line and would only be using that at work. And often I say, if that's what you need on some of these smaller tool lines, if what they have is all that you need, then by all means, go with it. Hollerin Property says your bear outfit is a better look for you. That's not me. That's the bear. He's a totally different person. I know people get us confused. The background noise sounds like an intro to the RATM song. Man, I cannot believe it's been quiet all morning. And I figured I picked 11 because it would be getting a little bit warmer, so there wouldn't be people out there doing this crap. And sure enough, if you could change anything about the icon box, what would be your top 3 changes? That's a good question. Let me see here. Well, I'm trying to pick more critical changes rather than just like it would be nice. Well, the it would be nice things are the easiest. So I get the power plugs on the front. I would like to see the power plugs inside the hutch. But you can put a power, but you know that's a really whiny kind of statement, really, because there are pass-throughs in the hutch. Let me show you real quick. So there's the power plugs right now, and I was saying I'd like them in there. But if you see in the back, right there, up there, and over there, there's 4 pass-throughs for power. So if I want to put a freaking power strip in there, it's not like I can't. Just me being whiny. Other things I'd like to change. I'll tell you what I would really like to change is a lot of these drawers are modular, and you can order replacement drawers. So you can get rid of like 2 shallow drawers and get a medium drawer, or 3 shallow drawers, get a large drawer. But that's only for the not the top 2 ones that go all the way across because they're riveted in, but in the single bank on one side. And then on the other one, you can replace any except for the power drawer because it's UL listed. I get it. I would like to see those configurable from the factory. Not you order it and then you have to order drawers to replace them. Because what are you going to do with those extra drawers? Now, granted, they are saying they're going to be selling those drawers at essentially cost. So that's nice of them to do that, and and it's appreciated. But I would really like to see, in this day and age of, I want this and I want that, basically where I can, choose everything cafeteria style, I would like to be able to do that. Other things I would like to change, I would have liked to have gotten it in blue. That's just me whining. I asked for blue. I got the first one off the boat. It was red. What else would I like to change? Well, I already mentioned I don't like having to drill into the stainless steel top. Yes, you have to do that on the Snap-on. Yes, you have to do that on all the other ones. I think they could have come up with a more elegant solution. They got a little lazy with that one today. Let's see here. Yes, as Dibrock said, please use the @DenaTools so it pops up in orange so I'm not skipping your question. The guys with the blue names and blue wrench are moderators. And thank you, by the way, for all our moderators who help moderate the channel. Like we had that guy, China whatever, who was being an idiot and an a-hole. We try to keep it family friendly, especially on the Sunday night chats and in the comment sections on the videos. Because, a lot of people watch us because we have a bear. A lot of people watch us with their family. I know a lot of guys who watch my videos with their kids. And it's cool because they get to share something with their children. The children watch because it's cute and funny. There's a bear. Dad watches it because it's good information, and they get to share it together. And I really like that I can provide that for people. And the moderators help us keep this neat and tidy. They also answer questions that I don't get to if I miss them, and I'm really sorry. Or they let me know that I've missed questions and such. So big thanks to all the mods. Also, a lot of them are creators in their own rights. Justin Dow, Brad's Workbench. If you guys don't know, Brad left earlier. Brad posted on his Instagram recently that his father suddenly passed away. And he and his father were really close, and it's a huge thing for him. So, go over to his channel, give him a thumbs up, and you don't have to say anything about it. Just, it'd be nice, probably a good pick-me-up for him to start seeing he's getting a lot of likes or a lot of views or something. So go check him out. Bright day in Vegas. It's always a bright day in Vegas. Let's see here. The other things that... what is the purpose of the new Quinn brand with Icon on the market? Quinn is the middle of the road stuff. Harbor Freight's doing good, better, best. Quinn is going to be the prosumer grade, rather than the basic grade, prosumer, and Icon's going to be the professional grade. They sent me the box to. They just sent me the box. No strings attached. They're like, we want to send you a box. We think you're fair. We like the videos you do. You call us out when we're wrong on stuff. And for those of you who think that uh, I'm easy on them, I was told by some people that I'm the person they're most concerned with. That I say the most negative stuff about Harbor Freight, and that I'm genuine about it. I'm not just hating. I actually pull up legitimate critiques and talk about stuff that they've done wrong. MC Tech says the package I sent you 2 days ago is coming back insufficient address. The clerk said the zip code is wrong for some reason. He marked out the suite number. What should I do? 2251 North Rampart Bowl. It's the address that's right there. P.O. Box 2251 North Rampart Bowl, Suite 177, Las Vegas, Nevada 89128. Man, that's all I can tell you. That's the address. 225 street address, post office box 89128. That's the zip code. Tell them that they're idiots? I don't know, man. Shields for Blue Point. MC Tech has been trying to get. Oh, so, okay, yeah, you got that one. All right. I sit down with my kids like my dad used to do with the AM radio and listen on Sunday nights. That's awesome. I love to hear that. Would you buy used high-end flooded tool chest? Only if I could go in and tear the whole thing apart. Problem is, once you start getting rust in those things, it's done because it'll eat itself from the inside out. It's like a cavity. If you can't get in there and grind out every piece of rust, it's going to keep rusting. Paulson cannot wait to check out the new tool line. Shane asks, any ideas that they'll bring out a top chest for the 36? Don't know. Sorry, we talked about it before. I don't know about that one. I'm not a big fan of top chests on the small, narrow boxes myself. Dash Jackson says, will you have to prove that you own an icon box before you can buy the drawers? Asking because of reasons. I don't know. I actually thought about that myself. I'm like, I could make my own tool chest. Yeah. That would be interesting. Do you know that Blue Point wrenches used to be made in the USA? They used to. They're not anymore. Really hard and tough time for Brad. I can't, I'll tell you something, guys, and a lot of people don't realize this, and why this is about why I'm so hard on, or push so strongly for family friendly and family this, family. I got no family. My dad took off. My parents got divorced when I was like 5. I lived in the Midwest. His whole family, grandparents, aunts, uncles, everything moved out to Arizona. And I used to go out. I would not hear from him except on my birthday. I'd get a phone call on my birthday, and I'd get a phone call around Christmas. And then the summer, I would go out, and I'd spend like half of my summers out there with him. And I always thought he was amazing. I looked up to him, thought he was the best thing in the world. He was the coolest dad ever. But then I wouldn't hear from him. And it was, I don't know if it was like Stockholm Syndrome or what. And then when I was a teenager, his new wife, who had a son from a previous marriage, who was a year younger than me, basically made him make a choice of, it's either, me and my son or him. One of us has to go. And I stopped hearing from him. And I didn't hear from him again until I was in my late 30s, after my son was born. And he contacted me to let me know about some family health issues. And we talked some, and he said that, maybe he'd get back in touch with me. He'd like to reconnect. Never heard from him again. But I've reconnected with other people in my family on that side, and they were basically locked out because he was putting pressure on everybody, and now they basically disowned him too. And then on my other side, my mother completely flipped out. She's always had emotional issues, and she apparently was obsessed with the fact that I wasn't supporting Hillary. I didn't vote for Trump because I'm a centrist independent. I think both sides are I don't trust either side. And but at this point, though, if I have to, I'll vote for Trump over what the Democrats are doing because they've lost their minds. Sorry, not to get. I know I try not to go political, but anyway, the point where I want to let you guys know is, as you know, is that that's part of the reason why I really push this. I'm really family focused on my kids, not being that kind of parent, and I hope other people, do the same thing because they're the next generation. They're the ones who are going to be inheriting, this world from us. And if the dads aren't there to make it happen, then we end up with a lot of like the generation that we have right now. All right. I'm excited. Okay, we talked about that. Does the hutch door close? And if so, can you show the mechanism? Sure, we can do that. All right. So the hutch door does close. Let me move this out of the way. So you've got a ball bearing riding in there on that. This is the channel that guides this. This is the actuating arm. As you see, it's set out here so that this is running in a straight line. And then to close it, you always close it, and to open it, you have to get to that point. It opens just like that. Don't ask about those. You don't know what those are. I hope that answers your question. Oh, my lighting's off now. Oh, it's starting to get some lighting balance. Come on, white balance. Travis says, I tried to get my fiance to watch your channel with me, and she refuses. She came home one day and stood at the door and asked, why are you watching a talking bear? You'd be surprised how often I get that. And then the other half of it is, quite often, I do get it like they start watching because they like to watch the bear, and then the boyfriend or husband can watch because they like the discussion. All right. Let me scroll down here. Straight out of Shenzhen. Timothy says, my wife's grandfather led 2 lives in Texas and Illinois without either family knowing. Whoa. Nick says, here is the line supplier I really wanted to send you. I don't know if you can post links. Maybe email it to me. Makita also broke the back their torpedo batteries too, but it didn't quite have the tool selection that Milwaukee has invested now. I'm a big fan of Makita, and I don't do enough Makita stuff. Justin Dow's recently started talking and showing more Makita stuff, and I'm really happy about that because I think more people need to see the Makita stuff that's out there. Have you seen the Tool Teardowns channel? Yes, I have. He's done some Harbor Freight tools, including different parts of the same tool, and compares the insides methodically. Very interesting. It is, and that, by the way, for some of you who don't know, come on, white balance, figure this out. There we go, come on. The reason that there's different part number, oh, now it can't focus. Oh, I'm all blurry and stuff now. I messed it all up. Come on. Figure it out. There we go. Is that they sometimes get one factory they're working with can't supply enough products, so they work with 2 or 3 factories, and they give each one a different SKU number, so if they start to have problems, they know which factory it came from. Let's see here. The Democrats have lost their minds. They've gotten into this whole thing of who can they're like a bunch of people who are just starved for attention, trying to stand up in the middle of a room screaming, no, look at me, look at me, look at me. And it's so desperate that it's getting a little scary. And this is coming from someone, I grew up mostly in the Midwest, in Iowa, Nebraska and stuff. I'm a farmland Democrat from way back in the day, supporting farmers, supporting the working guy, just, trying to get, but Democrats back then were different than Democrats now, and Republicans back then were different than Republicans now, and it's all completely messed up and just crazy. Scott says, I work in aviation, and 40, was that 45 of the mechs, 40 or 5, again, the mechs use US General, and another 40% use Craftsman. I guess 40%. 5 would be the percent sign. 40% mechs use US General, and the other 40% use Craftsman tools. I was surprised to find that out recently. That is actually really common in the aviation field. The US General carts are really popular. I don't know why, but it's just the kind of thing. Is the Bear on vacation? Bear always gets the weekends off, and he said he was taking a 3-day holiday or 3-day weekend this week. So, I wonder if Justin Dow or Redemption Garage are also going to get boxes. I don't know. It'll be interesting to see who ends up with them. I would love it if Justin does, because he's close enough to me out here. We're actually supposed to meet up. Hopefully, I'm trying to get him to come out for SEMA. If any of y'all are creators and you're in this genre, you can register at all these, for most of these convention things, expos and whatnot. You can usually get a press pass for free. And SEMA is the big aftermarket automotive expo. It's the largest expo in Vegas, which is a city of expos. And you got to come out and check it out. And if you do, let me know, and I'll be happy. We're going to get a whole group of us to go down there and do the whole thing, have some fun, go out for some drinks, maybe hit up my favorite steak club or steak house. I kid you not, the best steak house in Vegas, you have to be 18 or older to go to. And I'm being from the Midwest, I'm a steak snob of the highest order. What's your email? My email is red@thedenofTools.com. Is Harbor Freight going to offer Hutch workstation for US General boxes anytime soon? I don't know, but I tell them every single time. Every time. Go to their channel, post my videos, you post in here, they read all my stuff. Because they send me all these tools, they have guys whose whole job it is to read your comments. So every time you guys post that, which is funny, because when I was talking to their tool development team for the Icon boxes, I asked them the same thing. They're like, well, we're not sure if there's a demand. And I was like, bull. You guys read my comments. I know you do. Not my comments, but the comments down there. And every single time we talk about the U.S. General or the Icon boxes, the first thing that comes is there going to be a Hutch for the U.S. General? Every single time. They know that people out there want it. They don't know if people will buy it, but they know that people want it. Jay says, hello, Mr. Bear. Wondering if Icon will make tools. They do. There's tons and tons of videos. Redemption Garage has been doing like a video a day. I've got... Is this it? There's a Icon wrench right there. 10mm ratcheting reversible wrench. Client graphics in the house. How's it going? It's too funny. I saw you saw that other video, the guy who did the 72-inch US General for $300. Kind of a clickbait title. I posted on there telling him, hey, I get the clickbait stuff, gets you views and whatnot, but you got to be a little bit more authentic about it. How's it going? Happy Friday. Enjoy your 3-day weekend. I work from home every day, so it's either always a full week or always a 3-day weekend. Scott Gardner says, Bear, the old school Dems are called middle of the road Republicans. No, we're called Nazis. I used to live in San Francisco. I know. They informed me that I am a Nazi. I was married to a black woman at the time. Still a Nazi. Part Jewish on my mother's side. Still a Nazi. They call Jews Nazis these days if you don't agree with their politics. They've just lost their mind. Can you show the inside of the Hutch mechanism where you go when you do a dedicated video on the Icon box? It looks pretty complex and the stream went choppy. Sorry about that. I will. I'm actually planning to do a series of videos. Like, I'm going to take all the drawers out and show you the entire insides and the build of the box. So I've also got a snake cam that I'm going to snake down inside, see if we can show you some of the internal welds and stuff like that. Client Graphics says, I will be at SEMA 2019 with Mrs. Graphics. Man, let's do it. My email, I think you've got it, but if not, it's red@thedenofTools.com. Send me your contact information and we'll hook up this year. Definitely grab some dinner and stuff. Steve says, I'm contemplating doing some recordings and streaming. Yes, Steve, do it, man. I want to see your channel. Let me know when you get that going. The key, if you guys, any of you guys who are thinking about doing videos, the key, the number one thing you have to do is make videos. I don't care if they're good, they're bad. Start making videos. You will get better. The more you do, the better you will get. Maybe you can put your email on the screen. I should. I can't do it right now. I don't have the thing set up for it right now, but I should do that. I usually do that in my other streams. Gotta wait for that end of year bonus. Yeah, I remember those days. That was when I worked in the tech industry. Our company, we didn't pay people as much as other people did, but we did profit sharing. So at the end of the year, the company basically made $0. So we took whatever was left, divided it up by everyone's contributions, and that was, so we got some. We gave out some really nice bonuses. Also, Bear, the reason why U.S. General Tools are so popular is mostly starting aircraft mechs don't make a lot of money, so got to spread the little cash. I don't. That's the same with everyone, and I don't know what it is, but maybe aircraft mechs are smarter than the general mechanics, because I get so many general mechanics coming out of school saying they need to buy snap on this, snap on that, and I see the aircraft mechs who are just smarter about their purchases. I don't know what it is. And I think more people should be going into the whole aircraft mechanics industry because they are desperate for skilled workers. And I've seen guys, I was actually working on a video on this, that within 5 years are making over 100K. So, Aberkin says, I want Harbor Freight to start buying more stuff from U.S. suppliers, even if it's at the icon end of some of the special Eagle Elite line or something like that. I have told them that. I have told them that specifically, that they should start doing what Tecton is doing. Tecton gets most of their stuff, the large chunk, from Taiwan. Then they get a much smaller chunk from the U.S., and then they get just a little bit from China. If Harbor Freight could go to that level, or at least incorporate more of the Taiwanese and more of the American-made stuff, I think that they would, A, it would help American companies, and B, it would overcome a lot of the image problems that they have. Do you think they will make a quicker release of financing what they state 2020? I don't know. They know they want to. I know they want to. And I told them that they should have coordinated it so it came out with the release of the icon stuff. And they know that. So I think they want to, but the question is, can they? And since they're not doing the financing on it themselves, I think they're going through a bank. I don't know if they can. Scott Gardner says, right now, between jobs, going from one employer to another, doing the drug test and background check thing. Yeah, that could be rough. That was one thing. Living in California, you have to give up. As an employer, you pretty much, unless you are in an industry where the drug testing is a safety issue, that's really something you don't see. I tried to drug test people because it was just considered industry standard and where I came from, and I was told you can't do that. You won't be able to hire anybody. But yeah, these days when you work for yourself, not really an issue. Let's see here. This is for my knees, by the way. I'm cutting out again. Probably a good thing. Your picture's a little blurry. I'm a little blurry. Hopefully it'll focus. I think it's because the light behind me is so bright. I should have had this whole set up. If I was smart and we do this again, I'll flip it around. Another $10 holler from Travis. Jeff, I'm an A&P. If you want any information I can pass on, I can contact people who are licensed or unlicensed. That's awesome, man. I didn't realize that. Thank you so much. Let me get my my cowbell. I could rattle the tray. I can't rattle the tray. We'll do this double wrench thing again. Woo! It's like Anyway, it doesn't matter. Now it says you're offline. I hope I'm back online. Can people hear me? Anyone? Anyone? James says, my little girls love the bear but don't want to watch when you are on. I don't blame them. I'm too scary. Where did I move my phone to? Oh my gosh. Ha! Am I back online? So I think I know why I went offline. I had my phone, if I'm still on, I had my phone sitting in this tray, and I closed the tray. That was not the brightest thing I've done. Hopefully I'm back online. Let's see here. What does YouTube say? Well, YouTube's known to lie. Oh, that's that one. Video output is low. All right. Anyone? Still. See, my space bar doesn't work. Trump has been the greatest thing to happen to flyover America in the last 30 years. It's sad to say because I think he's a complete douchebag, but you know he's good at businesses. Yes, kind of. So if you guys missed it, when he asked me about the other tools, I opened up the other tray, and I ended up closing the tray that I had the cell phone sitting in. So the cell phone was sitting inside a metal box, essentially a Faraday cage. No signal for you. So still seeing it, so it may be looking at the buffering part. Are you Bigfoot? Bigfoot is blurry. Well, you know what, guys? My phone is at 10%, so it's probably going to die. So let's call this the end of the stream here today. As I said, this was a test stream, see how it goes. Everyone, thanks for coming. Hope to see you all Sunday. Shine on. Is your phone hot? Actually, it's not too bad, believe it or not. Anyway, you all take care. As always, shine on.